continuous phonological analysis. Authors Linda Kahn and Nancy Lewis, published by Pearson Assessments in 2002. KLPA2 provides SLPs with a method of diagnosing or describing phonological disorders in individuals. It can be used individually or along with the Goldman-Fristow test of articulation for further diagnostic information. This is commonly referred to as the GFTA-2. It also provides a record of progress in speech and articulation skills over time. The population includes children, adolescents, and adults aged 2 to 21 years old. The scores obtained are used to determine eligibility for speech and language services, supplemental diagnostic information, or for special purposes such as research. GFTA2 standardization was completed between May and November of 1999, where individuals were tested at over 300 sites nationwide. The data collected was used for the standardization of the revision of the KLPA2. The sample size consisted of 2,350 individuals, where 1,175 were boys and 1,175 were girls. The age ranged from 2 to 21 years old, and the geographic areas sampled were the Northeast, North Central, South, and Western areas of the United States. Socioeconomic status was based on mother's educational level via number of years of education completed. The racial characteristics were derived from the U.S. Census, placed into the following categories: African American, Hispanic, white, and other. Subject characteristics included a dominant language of English and no reading or writing scores needed to complete the tasks. Since there are rapid changes in articulation development from the ages 2 years to 8 years and 11 months, the use of 1-year age intervals was specified for these early years. Middle ages 9 years to 14 years 9 months was set at 2-year intervals due to little change in articulation development. Ages 15 to 21 were considered one multi-age interval because there is usually a mastery of articulation by this time. The two types of validity used to measure this test include construct validity and content validity. Construct validity data establish the degree to which the underlying construct or trait the test intends to measure is actually measured. It measures phonological processes in consonants and consonant sound clusters. Since processes are age-related, the scores on KLPA2 are expected to decrease as children mature. Results support this validity based on the age differentiation criterion and by the relationship of the KLPA2 with the GFTA2 raw scores. Table 5.18 in the manual provides the correlation with GFTA2 raw scores and age differential. Content validity addresses the question of whether the items in a test adequately sample the domain that the test intends to measure. It uses phonological processes to evaluate articulation errors within a sample of 23 of 25 consonant sounds recognized in American Standard English. There are 3 types of reliability for this measure, including test-retest, inter-judge, and internal consistency reliability. Test-retest reliability is an index of how much the individual's performance is likely to change on retesting if a period of time has elapsed between test administrations. The GFTA2 was administered twice to 52 examinees who ranged in age from 4 years 6 months to 7 years at the time of first administration. The interval between test administrations ranged from the same day to 34 days, where the same examiner did all retesting. These values were computed as the percent of absolute consistency in the occurrence of internal reliability addresses the internal consistency of the items of tasks in a test. Coefficient alpha was used to compute the internal reliability of KLPA2. It indicates the proportion of variance in the test scores that can be explained by common factors underlying item performance. Table 5.14 in the manual lists the KLPA2 alpha reliabilities for the inter-judge reliability detects the degree to which the scoring of the KLPA2 is likely to be influenced by the examiner's personalities. 2 different examiners independently analyzed a sample of 19 females and 15 males aged 3 years to 8 years and 3 months. Table 5.17 lists the percent of agreement in the judge of phonological errors between the 2 raters for each target word. The KLP2 Complete Kit with manual scoring costs $172.50. However, for an additional cost of $228, you can purchase the GFTA2/KLPA2 scoring software that is much more efficient. In order to prepare to administer the KLPA2, It is necessary to have the GFTA2 53 sounds and words materials since KLPA2 makes use of them for further diagnostic information. In addition, it is important to be familiar with the rules used to develop the age-based normative scores and how to calculate chronological age since they are vital to accurately interpret scores. Finally, it is necessary to practice and maintain reliable transcription skills as a means to provide accurate diagnostic evidence. Administering KLPA2. Administration time of the KLPA2 is very fast and efficient. It takes only 10 to 30 minutes depending on the severity of each examinee's articulatory skills. First, you administer the GFTA2 as a means to gain a detailed measure of articulation ability by presenting the 53 sounds and words target pictures where they are prompted to articulate each word. Then you transfer and transcribe the examinee's responses onto the KLPA2 analysis form. This form corresponds with the 10 phonological processes being assessed that are listed here below. Next, use the sound change booklet to identify which processes were used and gain diagnostic information at a glance. Based on this information, the examiner can obtain the examinee's raw scores, standard scores, percentile rank, age equivalent scores, and percent occurrence per phonological process. In addition, the Phonological Summary and Progress Report is a parent-friendly guide in developing targeted treatment strategies, allowing you to record goals and objectives for many common phonological disorders. There are two primary limitations to take into account for this measure. The first is that there is no electronic version of the KLPA2, thus with the growing technology, many wonder when or if there will ever be an electronic edition available. For example, iPads are strongly used in clinical practice, therefore the development of the app would most likely be useful in the future. Second is the Kahn-Lewis phonological analysis is only available in the English language. Cultures and languages vary from place to place, thus it would be efficient if this were available in other popular languages such as Spanish, French, or German.